Hello students, welcome to SJCE content. Happy to meet you again in this video of mine. This is the second part of my video lecture in Complex Analysis 1 for 3rd year BSc Mathematics. In this presentation, we shall discuss some properties of conjugate of a complex number and modulus of a complex number. First, we see some basic properties of conjugate of a complex number. First property is, if z equal to x plus iy is a non-zero complex number, then its conjugate z bar is defined by x minus iy, which is obtained by replacing iy by minus iy in z. Then z bar the whole bar is equal to x plus iy, which is equal to z. That is, conjugate of a complex conjugate is again a complex number z. Second property says, sum of the complex number as well as the conjugate is equal to 2 times of x. That is, if I replace z by x plus iy and z bar by x minus iy, we are getting 2x. 2x can be written as 2 times of real part of z. Another property says, the difference of complex number and its conjugate number is equal to 2iy. That is equal to 2 times of imaginary part of z. The fourth property says, z1 plus z2 the whole bar is equal to z1 bar plus z2 bar, which implies sum of the two complex conjugate is equal to conjugate of their sums. This result can also be extended for n terms. If z1, z2, etc., zn are non-zero complex numbers, then z1 plus z2 plus z3 plus etc. plus zn the whole bar is equal to z1 bar plus z2 bar plus z3 bar etc. plus zn bar. That is, sum of the conjugate of the n complex number is equal to conjugate of their sums. This result can also be holds good for difference rules. In the fifth property, we know that product of two complex number is again a complex number. Hence, product of conjugate of two complex number is equal to conjugate of their product. That is, z1 dot z2 the whole bar is equal to z1 bar into z2 bar. The same result can be extended for n elements, so that we have z1 into z2 into etc. zn the whole bar is equal to z1 bar into z2 bar into etc. zn bar. That is, product of n complex conjugate is equal to conjugate of their product. Next one, the sixth property, z1 by z2 the whole bar is equal to z1 bar divided by z2 bar if z2 is not equal to 0. The last property is, zn the whole bar is equal to z bar the whole power n. These are some of the basic properties of complex conjugate. Now we proceed to necessary and sufficient conditions of conjugate of complex number. First statement, z equal to z bar if and only if z is purely real. The statement says the complex number and its conjugate are equal if and only if z is real. So we can prove this statement in two cases. First, I assume that z equal to z bar is true and prove that z is purely real. Because of hypothesis, z equal to z bar implies x plus iy is equal to x minus iy. Cancelling iy on both sides, x on both sides, will get 2iy is equal to 0. That implies y equal to 0, which implies z is purely real. In this, next we assume that z is purely real and prove that z equal to z bar. If z is purely real, then we write z equal to x, and therefore z bar equal to x for all x belongs to capital R. Capital R is nothing but a set of real numbers. Therefore, z equal to z bar. Statement 2, z plus z bar equal to 0 if and only if z is purely imaginary. It means the sum of the complex number and its conjugate is equal to 0 if and only if z is imaginary. So I take z plus z bar equal to 0 and prove that z is purely imaginary. If z equal to x plus iy, then z bar is x minus iy, and therefore z plus z bar equal to 0 implies 2x equal to 0, that implies x equal to 0. Therefore the complex number z become z equal to x plus iy is simply z equal to iy, which implies z is purely imaginary. Suppose z is purely imaginary, then we write z equal to iy, and therefore z bar equal to minus iy, which implies z plus z bar equal to 0. We prove the statement. Now we move on to the concept of modulus of a complex number. It means modulus of a complex number is nothing but a distance from the origin to the given point x comma y, which is denoted by mod z and is defined as square root of x square plus y square. This is also known as absolute value of a complex number z. So these are all some properties of modulus of a complex number. We know that mod z equal to square root of x square plus y square, and therefore mod z the whole square is x square plus y square, that can be written as z into z bar. Therefore mod z the whole square is z into z bar, or the absolute value, the square of the absolute value of z is nothing but product of the complex number and its conjugate. The second property is modulus of z1 into z2 into etc. zn is equal to mod z1 into mod z2 into etc. mod zn. Next property is modulus of z1 by z2 is equal to mod z1 divided by mod z2, provided z2 not is equal to 0. Now we are going to prove triangle inequalities. The statement: if z1 and z2 are any two complex numbers, then modulus of z1 plus z2 less than or equal to mod z1 plus mod z2. The second one is modulus of z1 minus z2 greater than or equal to modulus of mod z1 minus mod z2. First we prove first inequality, namely modulus of z1 plus z2 less than or equal to mod z1 plus mod z2. We know that mod z the whole square is nothing but z into z bar. Therefore I consider mod z1 plus z2 the whole square equal to z1 plus z2 into z1 plus z2 the whole bar. That can be written as z1 plus z2 into z1 bar plus z2 bar, which implies z1 bar plus z1 z2 bar plus z2 z1 bar plus z2 z2 bar. Then we write this z1 into z1 bar as mod z1 the whole square. Similarly z2 into z2 bar as mod z2 the whole square. Then that z2 z1 bar can be rewritten as z1 z2 bar the whole bar. Finally what we have is mod z1 square plus mod z2 square plus 2 times of real of z1 into z2 bar, because z plus z bar is equal to 2x, that is 2 times of real of z, and also mod z equal to mod z bar. Therefore real of z1 z2 bar always less than or equal to mod z1 z2 bar, that is equal to mod z1 into mod z2. Hence that equation become mod less than or equal to, left hand side is less than or equal to mod z1 squared plus mod z2 squared plus 2 times of mod z1 into mod z2, which is of the form a square plus b square plus 2ab. So this can be written as mod z1 plus mod z2 the whole square. Then by cancelling square on both sides, we get mod z1 plus z2 less than or equal to mod z1 plus mod z2. This is called first triangle inequality. Next, to prove the second triangle inequality, modulus of z1 minus z2 greater than or equal to mod z1 minus mod z2. Consider z1 minus z2 plus z2 is equal to z1, and take modulus on both sides, we have modulus of z1 minus z2 plus z2 is equal to mod z1, which implies modulus of z1 minus z2 plus mod z2 greater than or equal to mod z1, because by using equation 1, that implies mod z1 minus z2 greater than or equal to mod z1 minus mod z2. Similarly, we shall write z2 minus z1 plus z1 equal to z2, and taking modulus on both sides, we get modulus of z2 minus z1 plus z1 is equal to mod z2. That can be also written as modulus of minus of z1 minus z2 plus z1 is equal to mod z2. That implies modulus of z1 minus z2 plus mod z1, which is greater than or equal to mod z2 using equation 1. From this we get modulus of z1 minus z2 greater than or equal to mod z2 minus mod z1. Hence, combining equations 2 and 3, we get modulus of z1 minus z2 greater than or equal to modulus of mod z1 minus mod z2. This is the second triangle inequality we proved. Next, we have binomial theorem for complex number. Statement: if z1 and z2 are any two non-zero complex numbers, then z1 plus z2 whole power n is equal to sigma nck z1 power k z2 power n minus k, where k takes value from 0 to n and n takes values from 1 to 3 etc., and nck is equal to n factorial by k factorial divided by n minus k factorial. We are going to prove this using induction hypothesis. So given that z1 and z2 are any two non-zero complex numbers, to prove z1 plus z2 whole power n is equal to sigma nck z1 power k z2 power n minus k. Take that is equation 1. Now we are going to prove this equation 1 by using mathematical induction. That means we must prove the result or equation 1 is true for n equal to 1 and n is equal to 2, and assume that the result is true for n equal to m where m is less than n, and prove that the result is true for n is equal to m plus 1. Therefore, I will take for n equal to 1, from equation 1 we get z1 plus z2 is equal to sigma k equal to 0 to 1 ck z1 power k z2 power 1 minus k. Here k takes value 0 and 1. Therefore, by replacing k by 0 and 1 here in the right hand side, we get 1c0 z1 power 0 z2 power 1 minus 0 plus 1c1 z1 power 1 z2 power 1 minus 1. From this we get z1 plus z2, that is left hand side equal to right hand side, since 1c0 is equal to 1c1 is equal to 1, anything power 0 is equal to 1, so that we have the result. Now for n equal to 2, again from equation 1 we have the left hand side is z1 plus z2 the whole square, that is equal to, in the right hand side we get sigma k equal to 0 to 2 ck z1 power k z2 power 1 minus k. Here k takes value 0, 1 and 2. By replacing k by 0 and k by 1 and k by 2 in this expression, we get 3 terms. Therefore, we have 2c0 z1 power 0 z2 power 2 minus 0 plus 2c1 z power 1 z2 power 2 minus 1 plus 2c2 z power 2 z1 power 2 z2 power 2 minus 2. Here z1 power 0 is 1, z2 power 2 minus 2 is nothing but z2 power 0. So that is z2 power 0 is 1, as well as 2c0 is equal to 1 and 2c1 is equal to 1, 2 and 2c2 is equal to 1. Therefore, after replacing all these values, we get z2 squared from the first term, then z1 power 1 z2 power 1 into 2 from the second term, then z1 squared in the last term. Therefore, we get z2 squared plus 2 z1 z2 plus z1 squared, which is of the form a square plus 2ab plus b square, that can be written as z1 plus z2 the whole square. Hence left hand side equal to right hand side. Thus the result is true for n equal to 1 and n equal to 2. Now we assume that the result is true for n equal to m, where m is strictly less than n, and prove that the result is true for n is equal to m plus 1. By hypothesis, from equation 1 we can write z1 plus z2 whole power m is equal to sigma mck z1 power k z2 power m minus k. Take this as equation 2. Now assume that now you take n is equal to m plus 1. Therefore the left hand side of equation 1 is z1 plus z2 whole power m plus 1. That can be written as z1 plus z2 whole power m into z1 plus z2. That is z1 plus z2 into, by equation 2 we can write z1 plus z2 whole power m as sigma mck z1 power k z2 power m minus k. Now we take this z1 plus z2 inside this expression, so that we have z1 into sigma mck z1 power k z2 power m minus k plus z2 into sigma mck z1 power k z2 power m minus k. Then by using binomial expansion we shall write z1 into mc0 z1 power 0 z2 power m minus 0 plus mc1 z1 power 1 z2 power m minus 1 plus mc2 z1 power 2 z2 power m minus 2 plus etc. plus mc m minus 1 z1 power m minus 1 into z2 power m minus m plus 1 plus mcm z1 power m z2 power m minus m plus z2 into, again using binomial expansion for the second part, we get mc0 z1 power 0 z2 power m minus 0 plus mc1 z1 power 1 z2 power m minus 1 plus mc2 z1 squared z2 power m minus 2 plus etc. plus mc m minus 1 z1 power m minus 1 into z2 power m minus m plus 1 plus mcm z1 power m z2 power m minus m. Now taking z1 inside the first expression, we get mc0 z1 z2 power m plus mc1 z1 squared z2 power m minus 1 plus mc2 z1 cube z2 power m minus 2 plus etc. The last term is mcm z1 power m plus 1 plus z2 power 0 plus, then take z2 inside the second part, we get mc0 z2 power m plus 1 plus mc1 z1 power 1 z2 power m plus mc2 z1 squared z2 power m minus 1 plus etc. The last term we have mcm z1 power m z2 power 1. After simplifying we get mcm plus z1 power, that means you are grouping the last term from the first expression. Similarly, first term from the second expression, we get mcm z1 power m plus 1 plus mc0 z2 power m plus 1 plus mc0 plus mc1 z1 z2 power m, mc1 plus mc2 z1 squared z2 power m minus 1 plus etc. Since mc0 plus mc1 is equal to m plus 1 c0, as well as m plus 1 cm plus 1 is equal to m plus 1 c0, therefore using some binomial identities, the above expressions can be rewritten as m plus 1 c0 z1 power 0 z2 power m plus 1 plus m plus 1 c1 z1 power 1 z2 power m minus 1 plus m plus 1 c2 z1 squared z2 power m minus 2 plus etc. plus m plus 1 c m plus 1 z1 power m plus 1 z2 power 0. This is one of the binomial expansion that can be written as sigma k equal to 0 to m plus 1 ck z1 power k z2 power m plus 1 minus k. This is the right hand side. Hence we prove that left hand side equal to right hand side for n equal to m plus 1. Therefore the equation 1 is true for all n belongs to z plus. Thank you for watching this video.